Guys, Matt here. This is my review of Identity Thief. This movie is directed by Seth Gordon, who previously directed Horrible Bosses, and this movie stars Jason Bateman and Melissa McCarthy. Now, the plot of this movie is Jason Bateman plays a businessman, much like he has in his last two movies, where he's like a worker bee, but he wishes he could do more, and he wishes his life was more than it is. And he finds out his identity is stolen, so with him now being in debt, the cops pretty much say, we can't do anything to her unless she's physically in the same room. So Jason Bateman decides, okay, I'm going to go get her and reclaim his life back. So the adventure that he goes on basically changes the way him and the identity thief, Diane, view life. And so going into this movie, my whole thing with Melissa McCarthy is after Bridesmaids and after This Is 40, my whole typecast for her is, okay, she's hilarious. This movie's going to be hilarious all the way through. So I saw the movie, and though it did have some funny parts and some really funny parts, it was good, but it wasn't as good as I thought it was going to be. The movie did have some really, really funny parts. I'm talking, I was still laughing a couple minutes after the scene had passed because I just remembered how funny it was. So there's some parts in this movie you won't forget, but there's also some parts in this movie that just fall flat. I mean, when I'm in a movie with four other people that are my friends and, you know, the rest of the theater's crowded, when a joke happens, you know, if you don't laugh personally, you know, and everyone else starts, you know, rip-roaring and laughing and everything, you know, a lot of times, you know, you'll laugh along because you don't see the joke that they see, and then when you get it, you know, you're laughing because they're laughing and because you finally get it. But when a joke happens and nobody laughs, and you kind of almost feel bad that you want to even, you know, let out a little chuckle just because, you know, it's just so awkward and that joke didn't work. There were a couple moments like that in this movie. There were also some moments that made Melissa McCarthy shine. She proved that she's not necessarily, you know, the one-trick pony, the female version of Chris Farley or Kevin James. There's some scenes where she actually breaks down and starts crying, and there's some scenes that are dramatic, and they show, hey, Melissa McCarthy can act, but she's just been typecast. That's the best way to describe this movie. Alright, for all you movie fans, there's a movie in the 80s called Midnight Run with Robert De Niro. Same type of premise as this, but he plays a bounty hunter, and they're both male characters. Also, the movie Bounty Hunter with Gerard Butler and Jennifer Aniston. He's also a bounty hunter, but it kind of plays the same in Identity Thief. Also, if you haven't seen the movie Tommy Boy, well, you must be living under a rock. Go see Tommy Boy. It's a classic. Pretty much all the scenes with him and David Spade together, whether they're on the road or doing interviews, that's what Identity Thief was most like. You know, you have this straight-laced guy that's just like, all right, can we go? Can we go? And then you have, you know, your bumbling, silly character that just wants to keep going, keep being funny. That's what this movie's like. Usually in comedies, you know, you have some side characters, some minor roles that either help or hurt the movie. For me, I feel they hurt this movie, because Jon Favreau's in it, Robert Patrick's in it, Genesis Rodriguez, who played the hot girlfriend in Man on Ledge, and even T.I., the rapper T.I. And I feel their roles, for the most part, hurt the movie. Jon Favreau, because he's great, especially when he ad-libs stuff, when he's in movies where he plays a supporting character, and he just goes, and he's just great. It works. But in this movie, it didn't work at all. He played Jason Bateman's boss. He was only in the movie for like a minute, so his role wasn't as good as I thought it was going to be. Then you have Robert Patrick as another bounty hunter type guy going after Jason Bateman and Melissa McCarthy. his role worked. And then Genesis Rodriguez and T.I. as like the two henchmen and henchwomen that work for, you know, this mobster that Melissa McCarthy stole money from. You know, it's a side story. It didn't really work. T.I. has one funny line regarding a trunk, but that's it. And then you also have Ellie Kemper and Melissa McCarthy's husband. They were both in Bridesmaids, and they both take part in the two probably funniest scenes in the movie. One at the hotel desk, and the other at the table at the diner. Oh, those scenes are just great. But overall, the movie was good, but like I said, it wasn't hilarious all the way through like I wanted it to be. So if I'm rating a 1 to a 5, I'm going to give Identity Thief a 3.5. It was funny, and at times really funny, but at other times it falls flat. And when I watch a comedy, I don't want it to fall flat whatsoever. So, till next time, guys, see ya.